Welcome back to the Lazy A-Hole Ranch, everyone. My name is Allie, and we are building an arch cabin here in Colorado. It's been 2 to 2.5 weeks since we finished the floor joist. I have lupus, and I am not supposed to be getting sun. I started breaking out in hives. Anywhere that I have ink, it just stopped flaring up like a few days ago. I have to take my health into consideration. An update on Mike. He has finally gotten into the VA. He was supposed to have a 2-week follow-up. It took them over a month to get him in, about 5 weeks. His arm is healing up pretty good. He starts physical therapy on July 29th. Hang in there, Mike, you're doing great. Okay, I've got to move everything over here, so I'm gonna do that. You mean there is a manual? Do you know what else I have a laminated manual for? The Arch Cabin House Kits. I wanted to make sure I got off to the right start, so I looked up a few videos. And the first was a video made by the company that makes Advantech on how to properly install their flooring. I will leave a link above and also in the description below. The first thing that they mentioned was to make sure that your frame was square. I had to look up another video, which I'll leave a link up here and also below, on how to make sure something is square. So I've got a big old tape measure. And Mike said that we're going to be having to use some shims here and there. But there's also stuff like this, where the forces of the wood have just made that stand up. So the first thing we're going to do is check for square. So first we're going to measure corner to corner. I have just about 43 feet 10 inches. Not 43 10 inches. Crap, we're not square. Measure each side. Yeah, 39-ish. 38 and 11 and a quarter. So we're off by like 3/4 of an inch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in a perfect world it'll be 20 feet, but we don't live there.
20 and one little tick. This is pretty much the same.
When we're out by 3/4 of an inch, that side was shorter, which that can be chalked up to...
Our boards?
Yeah, just stuff being all whacked out. Yeah, there are ways to pretty it up, but structurally it's not going to hurt anything.
What we need to do then is make sure that we get a chalk line that is nice and straight.
My take is just kind of cheat a little bit. If we have to put in a piece behind it to have something to screw down to get it square, just do that, because everything is going to go on top of the subfloor anyway. So the better we can get the subfloor itself, then we're good to go.
We're going to have a little bit on the front and the back for the deck, for the porch. So we're going to bring one of the side pieces over for the kit to kind of mark out where our subfloor should go. So this is a side piece for the kit and what you stab the ribs into. And this will actually mount on the subfloor. This will mount on the corner and screw down to the subfloor, and then we put the metal ribs into the pieces here and stand it up.
Yeah, we're just trying to find the easiest way to make it all come out nice and easy to put together. So there'll be another spacer, I guess. Kind of the same thing that we've got here, just to bring this out to the same level that its accompanying piece is at.
So we are looking at some of the ribbing stuff because I was asking Mike about how we're going to put it together. Oh, these hooks?
Yeah, these little bits of chain You get this to where it's going to sit on the edge and then run a lag bolt or something through it so it can pivot, but it can't drop off the side. There's another one down there.
I see there's 3 on there.
Yeah, so this will actually be the first one that goes up. And then the other side, it'll be a stab it in. Very basic geometry kind of stuff. We have a right triangle. That little square indicates that this is 90 degrees. So if we call this side A, side B, the long side, also the hypotenuse is another name for it, will always be C. These two don't really matter, just so the long side is C.
Okay.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Oh, I do vaguely recall.
Yep, that's a very useful formula. So kind of how this works, if that's 3, that's 4, that side has to be 5, because if we plug these numbers into the formula, we'll get this one. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals, we'll just call it C squared for now, because we're pretending we don't know that. 3 squared is 9, and a square is just a number times itself, so 3 squared is 3 times 3. Likewise, 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16. So if we add those, we get 25. Square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5 equals 25. So it just makes it really simple numbers to work with. Since this is linear, this works with any multiple. As long as the sides are multiplied by the same number, it still works.
Okay.
So it could be 6, 8, that'll end up being 10. And I can proof that real quick. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals, we'll call it C squared because we're pretending we don't know it's 10. So 6 squared is 36, 6 times 6. 8 squared is 64, 8 times 8. So 36 plus 64 is 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. So you can scale this up as big as you need it, and it still works.
The formula is very helpful.
Yeah.
My favorite things about Mike is Mike does all this stuff in his head, and he thinks that the rest of us mere mortals can do it in our heads too.
I've just done it enough.
So then I asked my darling Mila Check, how does that apply on this?
Bigger the number you use, yeah, the more accurate it's going to be.
Okay.
And this is where you decide what multiple you want to use, how precise you want to get it.
Okay.
What we're trying to confirm is that this corner is square, but it's 90 degrees.
Okay.
Or, well, I guess this corner. Just kind of a sanity check.
And by multiples of 4, do you mean 4 floor joists? Like go 4 floor joists over? Or what do you mean by multiples of 4?
I mean, we just decide what multiple of the 3, 4, 5 we want to use. How precise we want it to get. We can just make this side 4 feet. So that's our 4-foot leg of the triangle.
Okay.
And we can make this one 3 feet.
Because 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, and you could do the same thing. You could make this one 3 and this one 4.
Okay.
But I'm just going 3 on this because I can reach it. And now
we measure from that to...
we hope that we can measure from that point
to this.
To that intersection.
And get 5?
And hope that it's 5.
Okay.
Now, so we're out by 3/8.
So how do we correct that? Because I know that that just compounds, right?
Yeah, and I think where that 3/8 of an inch is you can see where this is bowed a little. Yeah, because if we lay a, well,
yeah, you can see that very clearly.
Yeah, so that's where it is. We can account for the error being there.
So is this, do we want to pull out the pipe clamps right now and start measuring that in until it gets 2, 3, 4, 5, until it matches?
Yeah, and that's kind of the application for it, since this is more or less straight.
Yes.
And this is pretty straight. This is probably the straightest thing on the whole deal. And we can just pull that over until it's 5. And
okay, I think we have a plan.
And then we can screw it down.
And I have to go get the pipe clamp, so Mike's going to check and make sure everything's level.
I don't think it's worth chasing a 1/16 of an inch. on the joist because the subfloor is going to make up some of that with the construction it is and all this. Handy spacer tool. There's the teeniest bit under 8 feet, and that's for the spacing. The thing I'm seeing is we line this shite up. By the time we get to this side, panel should span 2 or more floor joists. Yep. So there's still 16 on center, and these are 8 feet long, 96 inches, which is a multiple of 16. It would have to go to the center of that joist to fall in the center of this joist. If we put it to the edge of that joist, the end is on the edge of that joist. So I think probably the thing to do is run it to the center of the joist.
Okay.
And then we'll just end up with trim off a piece that's that.
Would it help us to lay up a couple more of these so that we can see where they'll fall out and then push them out of the way? Patreon.com/LazyAhoRanch. You can also buy soap. Buying soap helps me buy sunscreen. We're starting back here because this is going to be a little bit of a deck.
Yeah, we might have a hell of a time pulling that in.
Can we block it on this side? Can we throw an extra set of blocking in to help pull it in where we need it?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? So what we're going to do now, lay up like the first row and just have them kind of in place so we can see where they all fall out and what we need to do to adjust this to get this first piece just right so that the rest of this goes in a lot easier. We've made several mistakes already on just the whole floor joist in general that we've talked about. So we're just trying to make this a little easier on our shelves from this point forward. We're learning from our mistakes as we go, and I hope that you guys learn from some of the errors that we've made and from some of the things that we're figuring out. And that's kind of why I'm recording this. I'm thinking about people that are like me that want to do something like this but have no experience in anything like this.
Construction crap I've scrubbed in on this kind of crap. Actual framers pretty much handled that.
Yeah.
And then I just come in and throw together a wall.
Let's put on some subfloor, guys. So the fasteners that we're using, they are Phillips head. That is what they had at the time that we placed our order. We bought our stuff in October 2020 and things were becoming a little bit scarce, so we placed our order and this is just what they had.
All by yourself.
That's like you said, I gotta go screw this up. Ha 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 ha.
this was going to be the weird end.
We figured we'd throw another joist in.
Because if you're doing a 2x6 wall, measure from your end to the nearest joist. The cheapest way to fix this problem is to cut you some more braces and put a brace, and you don't need them but every 2 feet.
Oh.
And just put a brace in there. And it doesn't have to go clear down. You know, you can use a 2x6 there.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's way better than
Cutting a whole
where
floor
we were
joist.
looking at going with it.
Where were you looking at going?
Putting a whole other floor joist in.
Yeah.
We already cut the pieces over there.
And what? That's these?
Yeah.
And what are these for?
We were going to put another floor joist in between the floor joists. So we were going to put where that red mark is.
Yeah.
We were going to put another floor joist, and we were going to take those out and then recut new ones and put them in between.
My suggestion's a whole lot easier.
Yes, it is. It's way easier. So I think we are going with your suggestion because that makes way more sense. See, there's a reason why you stopped by today. It was to stop us from putting in a whole other floor joist.
On the end, if you want, you can cut one from there to here, put it in this way. That might not be such a bad idea because then you tie right into your frame.
Yeah, at least that corner is helper step.
And the corners are the most important part.
Do you want to use an impact?
Oh!
Yeah,
You're holding out on me.
it really is better.
It is better. It really impacts how fast this will go. That is it for this week. Stay tuned for next week when we do more subfloor, and I feel like I completely screwed things up, but I didn't. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you who take time out of your day to spend with us. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.